There's dirt on my hands, strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon. They sing on a sleepless night. Try to catch me howling at the moon. 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 When it rains, it pours. Water's up to my chin. Won't stop fighting to the very end. Maybe when I'm trying to reach it. Maybe when I feel. Well, if you wanna get to heaven, you gotta raise a little hell. And I've been running from the law. Hope they won't see me.
Howdy, what's going on, guys? Part-time Fisher here, and I'm with Real Custom Art, who's this way. I keep pointing the wrong way in the camera, but welcome back to Fish Talk. We're going to be sitting down today with, who are we sitting down today with? I believe it's Hendrix Fishing, is that right, Jeremy?
Yes.
And I think I got a little message from him, but Hendrix Fishing is going to be a proud sponsor of the podcast, so go check out in the comments. It's Fish Talk 10, I believe, is the discount code that's going to save you guys some money when you go out and check out. But what I got in front of me is one of the splash packs you can actually get from Hendrix Fishing. This was, I believe, a December splash pack, which did feature our guy Jeremy here, Real Custom Art. He did one of these beautiful jerk baits here. Came with some paddle tails and also came with some spears. So a great little pack there. And then one of the cool things is now on the site is they do have Beyond Braid, some of the smoothest braid you'll use. So save yourself some money with Fish Talk 10 and get yourself some braids, some lures, and everything else. But we thought we'd welcome you guys back with a great guest and have a little bit of fun. So what do you think, Jeremy? Should we bring him in?
Let's do it.
All right, let's bring him on in here. There he is. Hendrix
How you
Fishing
doing?
himself. What's going on?
How you doing?
Not bad. So, what is Hendrix Fishing, man?
Hendrix Fishing. Should I start at the beginning, or do you want to know now?
Well, I guess where did the name come from? That's the biggest thing.
The name came from our Saint Bernard. He's a 180-pound Saint Bernard that we've had for now 4 years. We love him to death as if he's one of our kids. And when I was coming up with a brand name, I was thinking, like, what should the name be? What should the name be? My last name is Irwin. I was like, that's boring. Just Irwin Fishing. So we didn't go with that. We came up with a bunch of other corny names, and then we were like, you know what? Hendrix Fishing. That just sounds right. Sounds like it means something. You know what I'm saying? Has meaning to it. So that's where we went with. We went with Hendrix Fishing because we love our dog to death. And when he was a puppy, he used to ride the boat with us when we would fish. I actually have some photographs. I think on the website in our About Us section, you'll see a photograph of him sitting on the seat.
Gotcha.
At the lake.
Gotcha.
That's where the name came from, right?
Now, I guess, how long have you been, Hendrix Fishing then?
So Hendrix Fishing has been together for 2 years now, established. Growing up, I always fished. I always loved fishing. I always wanted to paint fishing lures. I actually started out like refurbishing spoons. So I take old spoons. I was grinding them down. I also took like kitchen spoons and I was turning them into spoons. Nail polish. I started out with nail polish, painting on the spoons with nail polish, and then I was like, how can I do better? Like this looks terrible. And I then got into Do It Mold magazine, and then I started injecting baits, and I was like, I want better than Do It Mold quality. So then I went to Angling AI, and then I got into Epic Bait Molds and Fat Guy Fishing, and then I started making my own soft plastics. And I just got like so in depth and so deeply focused in like designing tackle and just coming up with my own ideas, my own colors. Our pro staff Gavin has been with us since the beginning. If you ever can get a chance to get him up on here, he'll tell you some of my colors were extravagant. And I was so efficient with like making baits and getting them out there that I grew such a good following and business was like booming. And then I started painting lures. It's just like it never stopped. I still paint. I have my airbrush over at the shop. My custom lures were doing great. And then eventually things happened and I got in contact with a company called Dark Horse Tackle. And I was painting, I think 300, there's 200 or 300 whopper ploppers. And then something happened. I'm not going to get into the details. And all those baits are now in a tote, unfinished, in my shop, waiting to be painted. I took that experience and I use it as fuel because I want to go somewhere in this fishing industry, and we're looking to be into a storefront between our two local reservoirs. That's our main goal, is to have a storefront and our online store. And I was like, how can I be a custom tackle reseller without having a storefront? Which again, you can speak to Gavin on this. I told him like I want to fill a storefront with baits, but I'm not there yet. So I was like, you know what? Why stress about that right now? Why don't I come up with a way to sell custom baits on our website and fill boxes? Since a box company let me down, why don't I take that idea but do it better? Why don't I be a better version of other boxes? And we've been trying to do that ever since. We've been loading boxes. We started with splash packs. Now we have mystery boxes. Now we have Beyond Braid on the website. We have Third Eye Fishing on the website. Southern Indiana company is going to be on there. CZ Lures is about to be on there. They hand paint, handcrafted soft baits. We are going to get, we have Bay State Baits going up on there again. We're loading up the website with handcrafted tackle. So basically what happens is I support these guys by putting them on our website. When you guys purchase from us, we send our purchase to that company and they handle the order and they're shipping it to you guys as soon as they get it done. Handcrafted lures, sometimes they take 5 days to craft. Soft plastics, I'll say they could probably get them done in 2 days, and then it takes a day to set. So sometimes the orders will take 3-4 days to be shipped. But guys, it's so worth it. Like the quality and the thought and just the feeling of knowing that someone crafted this lure by hand and now you're catching fish with it. It just feels so exceptional versus going to the store and I grab, I'm not going to talk down on this company because I love them a lot, but like Zoom, they're mass produced. They're just like injecting plastic all day long, overnight, however they got to do it to get all these packs out. There was thought at the original start of the company, and I'm sure somebody started out hand injecting or, crafting the bait that way. So it is special to them. But to me, it's more special when you take something that someone put time and effort and energy in, and then you're then putting time, effort, and energy on the lake, and you're catching fish. So it's just more meaningful to me.
Gotcha. I was gonna say, I think Jeremy, I saw you kind of nodding along there. I was gonna say you do the custom bait stuff. I mean, is that kind of what got you going on your side as well then?
Yeah, that, and if you do it for yourself, it's kind of cheaper. It saves you a little bit of money, and you can do what you want and get what you want.
Now,
and you know it's going to hold up. And it means more when you catch something on your own lure, for sure.
Right.
And I know putting quality hooks on from the get-go. I ain't dealing with, Ozark trail hooks, something like that.
now I was gonna say, we wanted you definitely on as a first guest, and I love kind of where you started. Just kind of let everybody else know how we kind of heard it. I mean, some people don't know where we even heard from you from. My first kind of take on your company was actually from a company, Monster Bass. They featured you in one of their bags there, and you had the Hendrix frog in there. And that frog was fun. I loved it, enjoyed it. And one day I was just kind of sitting there, going through, looking up different subscriptions I could get into, and yours came up. And I think from day one, it was there wasn't any. What I liked about it, there wasn't any fluff. It was, here's what you're gonna get. You didn't overpromise. It was, I'm gonna give you this, and that's what I got. And then the cool part is when I got it, I was getting lures like, Jeremy's jerkbait. I was getting stuff from, I think this one was from Walton Fishing, which are some good paddle tails, and it was just little different stuff than I was getting out of the generic Strike Kings, all that other stuff that Monster Bass gave me. And then I'm not sure how Jeremy got heard from you. I don't know. Did I tell you or something, or how did you find out, Jeremy?
I got it from the first one was a frog from Monster Bass. I think it was probably about a year ago. Does that seem about right?
Yeah.
Time frame?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're still doing the boxes. But my thing, like Monster Bass, is like, yeah, you get some pretty good stuff. I'm not going to knock them on that. But I don't frog fish, and it seemed like every month was a frog, or you get 6 frogs, it's like, okay, great. But it was just a lot of things I don't normally fish, but some people like that because they'll get them out of their comfort zone to fish. But me, I was never really a soft plastic guy. I was a hard bait guy. But this year's I kind of turned around on that, learning. So I used to catfish all the time, and now I'm more bass fishing. So I'm like year 3 of bass fishing. So my collection grew extensively in the last 2 years. This is just not even a fraction of what I got. And this ain't even my stuff. This is everybody else I bought. I support everybody. You got all these like active catch, Hendrixfishing, 110 back here. Robusto. I got one of his last week. He's gonna be coming up this month, right?
Yeah.
So, and then doing a couple of competition stuff. Now I'm trading baits with other bait makers, just collecting. It's cool. See what everybody else is doing, and it's a good community for the most part. You get a few rotten apples, but everybody seems to support each other, and that's what's really cool about it.
Right.
No.
I actually,
go ahead. Sorry.
My first bait that I bought off Jeremy was in our game room. Jeremy was raffling off a trout. It was like, what was it, 6-inch trout?
7-inch. Yep.
I fell in love with that thing. I think I took half of the spots just to get it. But yeah, I have it actually right here somewhere, but I don't want to break it out right now. But yeah, that's probably one of the coolest lures. That's probably one of the coolest lures I have now, to be honest.
Yeah, I got a good version of that sitting around here.
Oh man.
More detail.
Now, what I was gonna say is you brought up catching fish, so I have to ask, and I'm gonna start asking everybody this. First off, who got you into fishing? What helped? Who or what, I guess, got you into the love for fishing? And then what is your PB? And I guess bass, or I guess any species, something that maybe got you excited.
All right, so I've been fishing since I was in diapers, honestly. I remember being a little kid with the little pole with the plastic fish on the end of it. My dad used to work at a hotel, and he would take me to the end of the dock, and I'd cast that out. Well, one day I caught a snapping turtle on the little pole, and the thing wouldn't let go. There was no hooks on it. It just wouldn't let go. And I pulled them in, and ever since that day, honestly, even though it was a turtle and not a fish, I just fell in love with it, and I just kept going with it. And over the years, like, I would go visit my dad, and we would spend hours on the boat. I'd be out there burnt, I'd get hot. I'd jump in the lake, crawl back in the boat, keep fishing. We would start bass fishing on the lilies. We never really fished topwater. It was mainly like rubber worms, and we'd drag them across the lilies.
Gotcha.
And it was kind of the same thing. We would use long ribbon tails, like 10-inch ribbon tails, and red flake. We'd drag them weightless across the lilies, and we would just hammer fish. And I would see all these huge fish my dad was catching. It was just like an internal competition to be better than him, you know? And I grew up with a brother, obviously, and we've always fished. We have a pond. Actually, I grew up right down the road from where I live now. And if you go around the corner, there's a pond that my uncle owns. And we would be at that pond every day over the summer. Whether we were fishing with poles, we'd be knee deep in the water catching sunfish with our hands. It was just, we were obsessed with fishing in all kinds of ways. It just never stopped. And as I grew up, I started getting into more. Instead of bass and panfish, I started trout fishing. And we have 2 local reservoirs right here, Never Sink and Rondout Reservoir. They're massive. Can't use the gas boat on them because they supply water to New York City. But you go out on a rowboat and you just, what's the word? I'm having a blank right now, but you basically trail a spoon.
Oh,
what is that called?
Troll it.
Trolling.
Yep.
So we troll a spoon with a dipsy diver, and we catch 15, 16-inch trout. We use live bait from shore. I've caught probably my PB trout was an 8-pound trout. It was well over 30 inches out of Never Sink Reservoir. It was a brown trout. The thing was massive. And every summer when the ice, or spring when the ice thaws, I get right out there. There's huge hills you have to climb down, and you fish the bank, and there's barely enough room to stand. But I'll stand there in the freezing cold weather and just trout fish all day long. But once the water gets warm, I'm on the boat for bass. I'm in love with bass fishing. I love topwater fishing. That's kind of why we got into the frogs. I don't want to touch that. I'm kind of embarrassed about the whole frog situation, but if you want to talk about it, we can get more in depth on that.
No, I won't bring that one up. Don't worry. But what were you gonna ask, Jeremy?
I was gonna say, like, you talking about fishing in the cold and stuff like that. I learned recently, I don't mind fishing in the cold, but on ice, that's a whole different game. I'm kind of a wuss when it's ice.
I have tip-ups. I have ice fished. I hate when my hands get cold.
Yep.
So ice fishing is not for me. The few times I have ice fish, I've fallen really hard on my tailbone.
Ooh,
Definitely makes me not want to be out there still.
You gotta get cleats, man. You gotta get the cleats.
I'll try it. I'll go out and try if I'm really desperate, but I can't wait for that ice to thaw.
Yak tracks are great. I love yak tracks.
Gotcha.
Yep, I'm right there with you.
I'm walking up on slick roofs in the wintertime. They're great.
By the time we get ice here, it's just so windy and so cold that it's hard. It's brutal.
Yeah, that's where you gotta get one of those huts. Gotta get a little protection from the wind.
Right.
Now,
if you're not blowing
across the lake.
Yeah.
So you started out kind of just making baits, selling baits like that. You got into the box scene just because you kind of wanted to see something different, but also support smaller businesses like Jeremy over here. I guess
Exactly.
Kind of a dual-edged question for both of you a little bit is, from Jeremy's side of things, I guess, what are your thoughts on being in something like this? Is it good for you, bad for you? And then from your side of it, Hendrix, what are some of the risks you take getting with businesses like Jeremy, for example? Not saying that Jeremy is a risk, but you know what I'm saying.
Well, I want to say it's good. I'm not used to doing like large quantities yet, so my stock, I got to like plan for it, because I just do it on the side from my normal job. But I like to do it full time, of course, but it don't pay the bills, and it doesn't give you life or health insurance, all that jazz. But no, it's good to get known. You meet a lot of great people. That was kind of my reason to get in it, and just be in just a community. Everybody's positive, uplifting. It's not the negative stuff you read on like Facebook or it's just positive stuff. Nobody's slamming each other in that groups. It's good stuff. I like that, and I just it's always fun to try new things. Like you said, you you're getting stuff you can't get in the store. It's unique, so it's cool to see everybody's creativity. I've always been kind of an artist type guy. I started airbrushing 2 years ago, so I haven't been doing it long. But I was a musician before, and with COVID and everything, it kind of ruined that and a few other things along the way, and it just became not fun anymore. So fishing took over full force. So
But then, so yeah, I guess on the backside of that, then, so taking a company like that, that has, like Jeremy, that has a great backstory, small, but I mean, the quality of the baits and some of the patterns, I mean, you're not getting that pattern necessarily in stores in that kind of quality. I guess, what do you look for when you go find these small companies, or like I said, what are some of the risks that you have to assume when you get with these companies?
So, first off, Jeremy's no different than myself, in my eyes. We're equal. I'm same with you. This isn't my full-time job. I work 2 jobs, and I do this. I'm a busy man. I try my best. But my dream is to have like I said, my own storefront. So that's why I'm working hard, and we're gonna get there one day. I'm not dying until I have my storefront. But anyways, some of the risks are that there's a lot of risk, and there's minimum reward for myself for all this. I try my best because I have a lot of respect for guys like Jeremy. I try not to go low on prices when I put them in the box. So I have to work with my companies on pricing without disrespecting them because I know what it's like to make these lures. Another risk is dependability. Jeremy, you don't have anybody else painting for you, do you? It's just you, right? Little man.
I'm teaching.
So I know what it's like to give 2 hands. You're only painting with 1. You can't paint with 2.
Got my grandkid doing it with me too. This is my nephew, Jordan.
Hey, Jordan.
And, make it a little family thing,
That's good.
We're out here pouring blade baits, a while back and stuff like that, So no soft plastics yet, but
Stay away.
maybe soon.
Keep the kids away from the soft plastics. You don't want.
Yeah,
that stuff's terrible for.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That was one of my.
This, so.
Pretty cool. Like it.
Highly recommend painting, definitely. I mean, there's risk with everything, but like he said, it's himself, his grandkids, his nephew. I'm very dependent on one guy, and his kids or a friend, or it's not like I'm depending on a whole factory. You know what I'm saying? So I have to depend on my companies to make baits, get them to me on time. Then I have to depend on myself and my lovely girlfriend. She helps me pack the boxes. We don't have anybody else. Maybe the dogs. They kind of run around and grab the scraps, and you got to chase them around and they get back to what you're doing.
Tell me a few extras in my box.
Yeah.
I'll teach them.
So if you're saying the dog slobber is free, then you don't charge for that extra?
Dog slobber. If you ever get dog hair or slobber, it's all Hendrix.
Oh, okay, perfect.
That's the touch. It comes with Hendrix
The
fishing.
little signature.
Yeah. But we're a solo show too, so we're working hard ourselves, and I get that. That's part of the risk for everyone. But yeah, the main risk is dependability and being able to functionability. So is it functional for me to buy 50 lures from someone for $9, or do I pick a guy that's able to make them for $3? You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. That's the only risk reward. Or you get the bait that's $3 and it has crappy hooks on it.
Gotcha.
Or a bad paint job. So to me, I'd rather pay $9 for a bait and throw it in my box and I lose $1 myself, than half these other companies that are like, oh, it has to be cheap. So I'll put four baits in the box. I'll pay $3 per bait, and the baits look like garbage. And then your customers are paying $25, $30 for the box, and they have a piece of garbage in their hand. Not saying that, you know what I'm
No,
saying? I'm
no,
not
no.
disrespecting Louis.
Like I said, if you guys, if anybody follows the channel, they know I do a lot of unboxings, and Jeremy's been able to kind of go through these with me, and we talk about all the time. And some companies you go through, and it's, man, that was a fire month. You know, good name brand stuff, or even if it wasn't name brand, it was just good quality baits, right colors. And then you get other companies, it's just like, what is this? Why am I getting the sixth frog in a row in the middle of December? Or why am I getting, you know, and it's not like it was a special edition. Because if it was like a, hey, we're doing a this brand takeover, and that brand does frogs, great. I mean, that's part of their brand.
Right.
But I think that's kind of what made me fall in love with your box a little bit is, with you even being a smaller business, I can see that you're trying to really piece together a box. And I think you and I have sat down, like I said, that for anybody that doesn't know, I'm one of your brand ambassadors. Tells you right there how much I've kind of fallen in love with the business. But you and I've sat down and talked, and you know, one of the things I like about a box is its fishability. Because if you get kids like Liam there, little young Liam, and he gets this box, can he take that box and just go to the lake and fish? As long as he's got a rod, reel, and line, can he go fish? And I feel like your boxes are really, really good at being able to be fishable. And I've kind of put together some stuff to, like, for the TikTok and stuff that shows how you can rig it with everything that came in the box, basically. Or, hey, go pick up a $2 thing of jig heads, and there you go.
Right.
And then, like I said, I like how you're finding these small companies, but you're, like you said, you're not necessarily looking for perfection because it's hand done, but you're looking for quality and consistency. You know, I'm not getting a bag of soft plastics and they're all like, you know, it looked like the guy never trimmed it or took care of it. You know, he didn't just take it off the mold and slap it in a bag. You know, it actually looks like the guy took his time on it.
And we were talking earlier about me being in a upcoming box, and we're talking about some different unique baits. And you said you wanted, you know, maybe a feathered tail on something, you know, and I'm like, first thing come to my mind, I could buy it, or I could go to my next door neighbor that does fly tying, and he does a stand-up job. We'll have him on here one of these days.
Yep.
But I could probably commission him to do a couple feather tails, you know. Again, that's just another branch to, like, something that you wouldn't get in a monster bass. You're not going to get a personally hand-tied treble or a feathered treble, you know. And we can make that work. We'll see how that works out. But
yeah, I think we'll make it work. If I want something, I'm gonna figure out a way to make it work. Because I fish these boxes. Look, I have my own box right here. It's ready to be fished. I kind of, after each month, I go through my box, I organize my tackle, and I'm like, all right, when the spring comes, I'm using all of this stuff. So I'm building these boxes based off my own opinion, what I would fish. And if I wanted to, last fall, I was taking these boxes, I was jumping in my kayak with one rod. I was going out and I was catching fish, the local lakes. I was just taking the box, taking a rod, throwing my kayak in the water. I was going out and I was hammering fish. I was sending pictures to my pro staff. I'm like, what are you guys doing? I'm out here catching all the fish. I'm not getting. I said, I'm sending you guys boxes, and where's all the pictures? But
that must have been before me.
Yeah, it was.
maybe on the channel here we'll encourage people to do a box, you know, slam, you know, catch everything with that, and then we'll do a giveaway or something, you know, later on. But you know, we'll have a little competition with whoever slam, you know, and push that out to the, you know, YouTube. Let's get some unboxing. Let's get the name out.
Yeah.
Let's get it going.
So
I mean, fishability is great.
Yeah,
it's most thing.
Yeah, as I said, fishability is probably the biggest thing with me. Is, you know, you're a smaller box, so I understand you can't tailor it exactly for my region. That's fair. You're not, you know, for example, we keep saying it, but Monster Bass, I'll admit, they're probably one of the better. They're the better big retail box. Not slamming the other ones, but they're just more consistent, and they do something that you, I think, have learned from them, or you at least understand yourself, is you talk to your customers, you actually listen to their feedback. You got a pro staff and brand ambassadors around you that I feel, as one of them, that you can actually get out there. They fish it, we test it, we give you honest feedback. We're not just fluffing you with, like, oh, I want this. No, it's, hey, I wouldn't mind having, I think you and I were talking. I sent you a couple messages earlier today. I was like, hey, I wouldn't mind having this brand in it just because, they got some good quality stuff. We featured them before, but I know they got some other products that'd be kind of cool to feature in, or, stuff like that. So you're not just like some of the other boxes that I've gotten from big retailers where you're just like, I'm throwing in this because this makes me more money and it's my in-house brand, and then I'm gonna throw, I don't know, I got this for $1, so I'm gonna throw that in there, and
Right.
I don't know what these are, but here's your 12th frog in a row, stuff like that.
And one of the things that's probably different from me than other companies too is I've told companies to make things in the past, and then halfway through, I was like, no, actually, I want this, but I'll take this if you give me a discount on this, and I'll take the baits still. I'm not going to leave them with 100
Yeah.
packs of this, something if I told them to make it and then change my mind. I took the baits. I took care of them. I sold them. I did what I had to do, but I'm not the type that's going to be like, no, I changed my mind, and then, that person's got 100 packs of baits and they can't do nothing with it. I'm going to use them in another box. I'm going to take them and hang them on my wall and sell them. I'll figure it out. I'm not, I'm not disrespectful. I know what it's like.
Gotcha.
And I'll tell you what really hooked me too is when you landed World's Worst Fishing.
Right. That's how
Where do you get that? You're not gonna get that in another box.
he's one of the guys that I learned from. I would reach out and send him messages like, oh, I like this bait. I like that bait. I bought a few sets of swims from him. We conversated, and one day I was just thinking, and I was like, let me message this guy, Chris Jones. He still messages me today. He asked me if I needed any swim bait hookups. I just messaged him. I was like, hey, I have a box I want to send you, and look through it, maybe talk about it on your YouTube. And if you were up to it, you want to make a few packs of baits that I could send out? And he did it. He made YouTube videos shooting the baits, and I thought that was the coolest thing. I have so much respect for that man for doing that for me.
And he jumps in everybody's lives too on Instagram. And another one I recently bought some from is Fish Daddy 401.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you're with him, but he does a lot of lives with Chris. And I got some of his swim baits recently. Nice.
What is that?
Shift.
That's an Epic Pud from Epic Bait Molds?
Yep.
Yeah, it's hard to show on camera, but I saw a couple good angles of it. It gets some really beautiful color shift going.
Yeah, those look really good.
And then he's got this 7.5 Epic.
Oh, I like that.
Bait.
That's something I would want in the box,
So,
but I want to tell you guys, this month's box has 2 6-inch swim baits.
Yep.
The reason for that is because if I had them make 6, you know how long it would take and how tired that man would be pouring them all by hand.
And I was gonna say the money aspect of it too, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel 2 6-inch swim baits is a solid, like, hey, check this guy out, because I feel like, what you're supposed to do is you're not really giving me a sample pack then. I mean, 6-inch swim baits, those are no joke. I mean, that's a solid size. But that's a good way for me to kind of get a feel for it. And then now it gets me addicted, like, ooh, I really like this swim bait. Let me go check him out, see if I can get some more of these or some more colors.
Right.
I was gonna say, I think another company you're putting in this month's box, which you guys will get an unboxing video here, hopefully by the end of the weekend. I think Jeremy and I are both getting ours tomorrow, so that's the goal if the mailman shows up. But Third Eye Fishing is gonna be in this month's box, and they take the stuff you're used to and add their own little twist to it, is what I've noticed. Because I've gotten a couple of their baits, and I like how it's, hey, here's a worm, but here's our twist to the worm. Here's our, and I don't want to ruin the bait that's coming this month's box, so I'm not going to talk about the bait coming because you guys are going to love this bait, but, here's a style of fishing that I personally use all the time, and here's the twist on it. And I think what Jeremy was holding up there, that might be the swim bait. I mean, you're the only company that I know that has put a swim bait in a monthly subscription box.
Well, John, the main reason for that is I was willing to pay for this swim bait.
I get it. There's the give and take.
But Yeah, that was an exceptional swim bait, and I would do it again. The reactions I got, the reactions he got,
Yep.
probably the bit he got from it, um, it was all worth it. And to see everybody's faces when they were opening the boxes, I think I blew guys away with that one.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to blow you guys away ever since, and I don't know if it's happened yet.
You know, you haven't disappointed.
All right, good.
You stay just above the what I call average line, because each month it's like, ooh, okay, and you know, I'm fortunate because I know what's coming in the box every month. So sorry guys, I get the heads up before all y'all, but it's nice kind of, even though I know what's coming, I open it up and I go, oh, that's what that is. Okay, that's cool. Or I wasn't expecting it to look like this, or I didn't know that guy did this style or use these hooks, stuff like that. Um, so I like the curveballs you try to throw in there.
Right.
Yeah, I'm in the bait makers chat, so I get previews of what everybody's working on currently and side stuff too. So I get a little sneak peek. But when it comes to what's in the box, like the other day, one of the pro staff guys like, hey, you know, you posted like what is in this box, you know, the list and the prices and stuff. I said, I'm not looking at that. I'm not sharing it. I like to be surprised. Yeah, I've seen some stuff, but I like, you know, I'm like a kid on Christmas. I want to see what. Now he's taking over my unboxing, so you're gonna have to deal with it. I got him because he wants to keep everything. So
I want to go back and touch the third eye.
Yeah. Sorry. Yep.
No, it's all right. I wanted to talk about him because he's such a great guy. His name's Max. He's such a great guy, and he's aware that like he's not gonna get rich overnight selling fishing lures. He just started. He shoots them by hand. I know it doesn't look like it,
Really?
but this man is hand shooting them. He has what's called a shooting star. It's like these giant. They're not giant, but they're like probably a gallon tank that stays hot, and you pull the plastic out. It's a good way to keep the bubbles out and all that. That's why his plastic is so nice.
Well,
Shooting stars are not.
I think Jeremy agrees with me. You're gonna have to get me in touch with him. We're gonna have to get him on the show because his stuff looks. And guys, I'm looking around. I should have had one on me. I'm sorry. I can see it hanging actually up on the board there, but his stuff looks very, very, very professional. You know what? I'm actually gonna, since you bring him up, I'll let you keep talking about him. I'm gonna excuse myself. I hate doing this in the middle of a podcast, but I'm gonna stand up. I got right over there. I've got one of his. I think it's the Spears. I'd have to look what it is, but I'm gonna grab it here while you guys talk about that some more.
Well, what I was gonna say about him is he's a great guy. He's very easygoing. He's aware of the situation. That's why he's on my website. He was so easygoing, and actually, just to get you guys a little excited, he is doing the takeover box in March. I'm willing to leak that because.
Whoa. Hold on. Did we get to hear first that there's a maybe a takeover box happening in March? Is that what we just heard?
Third Eye takeover in March.
Ooh, guys, you heard it here.
It's gonna be low.
Get your box ordered. Use Fish Talk 10. Save because you're not going to miss that. Or I'm going to buy them all, and you guys are going to be SOL. So.
he's already eyeballing my snowblower. We're supposed to get 6 inches of snow this week, so he's already going to get his box to order that.
You got neighbors that need their driveways done, right? Start getting that box paid for. I remember.
Yeah.
I was say I remember, God, that was the easiest way to pay for stuff. I remember I'd wake up, I'd go shovel driveways, go mow lawns, and get a bunch of money, and then I'd be set. You could get a few boxes.
Exactly. Grind it out.
But so yeah, what he was talking about, guys. Here is one of the packages, and I mean, look how we've talked before. Packaging is one thing, but this does not seem like a custom bait maker's packaging.
Oh.
This is a very, very professional package. And something that he does on there, I like this, is he gives ways to rig it. I know some of the big companies do that, but I like that he does that. And this color stood out. This is, and I'm going to screw it up, so I'm going to read it. It's Watermelon Candy Chartreuse. But let me just pull one of these out here so you guys can see what I was talking about. He adds his own little, it's like something you've seen before.
Right.
But he's got his own little flair. And guys, I wish you could feel this and even smell it because it's got the bass syrup from Z Baits. But
Z Baits company.
That is, I mean, it feels like something I'd get from the store, like you said, a Yum or whatever.
And now hold that up real quick. That tip right there, the Chartreuse tip, I don't know if anybody knows. It doesn't get there by itself. You know, it doesn't just magically get there. He has to inject those Chartreuse. And then he has to cut each tip. And then he's got to re-inject watermelon to make a pack. So it's not the easiest bait to make, and it is very time consuming.
It's on there. It's not going anywhere. I mean,
Yeah,
guys, I'm giving it a good tug. I'd have to like.
He knows what he's doing.
Whew.
He's doing it right. And what's good is the packaging's great, but the baits inside of it are even better. I can't stand nice packaging with bad baits inside.
True.
And one of the groups, you shared a video of is it the Samurai Slimmer? Is that, am I saying that? And you're showing the action of that. That's something Gavin needs to throw up on TikTok or something.
I'm gonna.
That thing is sick.
And guys, shop Third Eye Fishing on my website. You'll support Third Eye. You'll support us. Use that coupon code. What is it?
Fish Talk 10, guys. All day. Save yourself 10%. Get Third Eye Fishing stuff, Beyond Braid, Splashbacks boxes, all the good stuff. If not, I'm going to buy it all. You guys are going to be out of luck. But
there you go.
So I wanted to touch real quick because, like I said, I don't want to keep you too long. I said I want to kind of keep you about an hour since you are busy. I know you got all the other jobs and all that other stuff. You keep mentioning a storefront, and you got my ears ringing a little bit with this. When you say storefront, what are you trying to set up, and I guess what are you looking to put into this storefront? Are you talking like a physical store, explode your online space a little bit more, and is it like, are you going to be, hey, get your Strike King, here's a little custom section, or are you wanting to be the custom bait storefront with a small, here's your mass whatever section?
So, first of all, we live in a very popular area where a lot of people go on vacation and come here. They see the mountains and the lakes and stuff like that. And I think it would do really well in this area for people to come and see something handcrafted, fishing related. We have probably 30 minutes up the road, up the highway, I'll say. We have what's called Trout Town, USA, Roscoe, New York. There's rivers all over the place, and honestly, it's probably the best trout fishing river-wise in the state of New York, and probably the country. It's so good there. It's beautiful there. But anyways, to touch back on the storefront, I'm getting a little off topic. Around here, there's not a lot of good live bait sellers. There's probably two. There's one that just retired. So there's two, and we have two massive reservoirs, and they get so much attention. There's so many people fishing these reservoirs. So I want to have live bait. I want to have, which would be in the back, I'll do my painting here still. I'm still going to paint. I'm still going to be a master crafter. I'm going to hang. I want to be strictly custom or American made. So it's got to be custom or made in America.
Okay.
So the shop will be a mixture of both. I want to use small companies for clothing. Maybe custom fishing clothing that has like a cool logo, and just, I'm not going to go. I mean, I love my Huck shirts, the fishing shirts. Some of those will be in the shop, maybe stuff like that. Some fishing rods. I do like favorite rods that I like and I appreciate, like companies like that. Beyond Braid. I want to put a little bit of everything so people can come in my shop. Here's fishing line. Here's a fishing pole. I've never fished before. Maybe pick up a book that tells me how to fish. Go grab worms or grab what I need, and then go to the reservoir and catch some fish. So my idea is to be between the two reservoirs, and and for people to be able to come and just enjoy themselves. It's all about enjoying yourself, and I want to expand the world of fishing because before COVID, fishing was dying. COVID happened, and then everybody wanted to make fishing lures. Everybody wants to go fishing. I go to the lakes now. I could count probably 20, 30 boats on one lake. I never had that problem. There'd be one boat floating around with me. We'd go past, talk about what we caught, carry on. Now you got boats bumping into each other. It's ridiculous. So the fishing is definitely coming back nowadays.
Gotcha. So other than the storefront, I guess where do you see Hendrix fishing? Let's say, what's your 5-year goal?
5-year goal?
Are we still wanting are you still going to be doing boxes? Are we still? I mean, obviously you're shooting for the storefront. I mean, if you get the storefront, are the boxes over? Are we going to keep doing that? I guess what is your, well, I guess what's your 5-year goal? And I guess if you need to trickle beyond, but where do you see yourself getting to?
So we'll say 5-year goal. I would still like to be. I'm still going to sell boxes. I love doing the boxes. We enjoy packing them. I'd like to get to a point where I'm selling so many boxes that I have employees. Maybe employ some people that like fishing. I wouldn't employ people that don't like fishing. Obviously, you have to like fishing to work for me. I'd like to expand, sell boxes, have a storefront. My all-time goal is to be down south. I want to be in Florida. Same thing, storefront. I want to be a little inland. I don't want to be saltwater. I love saltwater fishing, but I want to be more inland where it's freshwater based. But I've been trying to get my tackle out there that I make. I've been trying to get the boxes out there. I've shipped boxes for free to people, and we're just trying to get them. I want to get the boxes in storefronts too. I'm perfectly fine with putting boxes in storefronts.
Okay.
And
so
it's not just about the storefront.
So
I want the
kind of like a mystery tackle box, kind of the way they've. I mean, as much as I'm not a fan of their boxes because of how they just kind of shove stuff in. Their marketing is, it's amazing.
Phenomenal. That's something we have to get better at. The other thing, it's hard being a small business supporting small businesses, and I know guys like Jeremy. They understand. They're willing to help us out. But there's guys that don't get it. Like, we pay for advertisement. So not only are we paying for these guys' baits, we're paying to advertise the baits. We're sending boxes out for free. Yeah, I sent boxes for free to World's Worst Fishing. I think I sent 3 boxes. I've sent boxes to other YouTubers. I give stuff away to my pro staff to kind of encourage their engagement and helping us grow. I give discount codes to many people. The discount codes, they don't help us. that's to help you guys. That's to help you guys get into fishing, to get introduced to our boxes. The less discount codes used, the more we're gonna grow. But at the same time, the more discount codes, the more we're gonna grow. So it's kind of a 50-50 type of thing. Yeah, exactly. So we're constantly advertising and paying for stuff like that. So it's not just like we're buying baits and throwing them in the box. There's a lot that goes into this. I have a family member that lives in Florida. I'll send him stuff. He'll go to like the local flea markets. He'll show them off. He goes to Lake Okeechobee and talks to people. He actually goes on a sea fishing boat. He sees people on there and he's chewing their ear off, telling them about Hendrix fishing. And all of a sudden, I got new followers and people calling me and messaging me. So we're gonna get there one day. So
I love it.
I have faith in it. I have guys like you that have faith in us. So
that's why I love it. It's not you just going, hey, here's your discount code and welcome to the party. It's you genuinely care. You're talking with us. You're interacting, and it's that give take. It's if you can sit there and do work for me, I'll do work for you, and vice versa kind of thing. It's not all just you, and you'll never see me. It's
right.
You help us help you kind of thing.
Right. When you told me that you wanted to be on the show, I immediately said yes because you've done so much for us, and I really appreciate that. Like, you're probably one of the if I have something that I have a question about or anything like that, I'll go right to you immediately.
Well, but we appreciate it. Like I said,
I got home today, I cooked dinner, and I set up, and I was like, all right, let's get this talk show going. Because I was excited. I was thinking about it all day. I kept telling my girlfriend, I got to do the talk show. I got to do the talk show. And he's like, asked me to do something. I'm like, I got to hurry up. I got to do the talk show. I'm like a little kid in the candy store.
Yeah, just don't get fishing advice from John. There you go.
It can't be that bad. Come on. I feel like I do pretty well. Come on.
His advice would be let Jeremy pick the spot and show me where to fish, and I'll catch all the
well,
fish.
See, you show me the spot, and then I show you what to use. But
Hendrix fishing.
This spring you guys are going to see a lot of Hendrix fishing products getting used or stuff that came out of the box. I think like I said, when I jumped in, it was just towards the end of our open water season. So that's why you guys haven't seen a lot of fishing videos with Jeremy and myself out there fishing the products coming from the box. But trust me, come open ice, you guys are going to see a lot of these baits getting used. And like Jeremy mentioned, you're going to actually see us get out there. We're going to do a box challenges. Every month we're going to get out there with the box, and it's going to be okay. What did I get? I got a paddle tail, I got a jerk bait, and I've got this. Okay. Well, I'm going to start with the jerk bait. You know, that's easy. Let's see what I can get. Then I'm gonna, let's see. All right, I got some on the jerk bait. Let's get this out there and just kind of force yourself. And the cool part is you're gonna get a bait. Maybe you're not a guy that throws paddle tails. Best part about this, it's gonna force you to pick it up. It's gonna force you to throw it. And the next thing you know, you might fall in love and be, I'm a paddle tail guy now. You know, it happens all the time. I see in chat one of the guys giving me a hard time. MEPs don't count. Guilty as charged. If you check my tackle box right now, it is a container dedicated to MEPs with a little bit of, and then now it's a bunch of custom lures as well, but that'll never come out of my box until maybe he finds somebody that can make a version of MEPs that's, you know, not MEPs, or if you get MEPs in the box, great, I'll take it, but you figured that out. We're in business.
Hey, if you look Instagram hard enough or Facebook and just search the internet, you'll find anything you look for. Like,
Careful,
it's
the
so
internet's a
easy
black
to
hole.
make hashtag jerkbaits, and I just scroll for hours. I get yelled at, why are you on your phone so much? But it's like, I'm so addicted, I just can't help but to just want more and more, you know? And I'll search for hours looking for bait companies. Some of the guys, not in this box, but in future boxes, I wouldn't have found them if I didn't dig through the internet and dig through Instagram and Facebook. It's time consuming, but it's so worth it. Because then I'll be like, hey, just send me a sample. I'll get the baits in my hand. I'm looking at the baits. I'm touching the baits. I might fish with the bait or test it in my sink or my fish tank or whatever I have. But I'm not putting a bait in the box without holding it in my hand first.
Very nice.
Quality.
It's like I'm close to 1,000 followers in Instagram, you know, and I didn't pay for advertising. I didn't pay for people to like my page. You know, that's just getting out there talking to people over the internet, liking people's stuff, sharing people's stuff. You know, I'm sharing guys that paint baits like I do. I'm sharing their stuff just as much, you know, as I'm pushing mine, you know. Like I said, it's fun.
Give a little, you get a little.
All right, well, we're getting close to that cutting time. Like I said, I don't want to keep a busy man away from all the extra stuff he has going on. Jeremy, is there any last questions, comments, anything like that you have for our guest, or just in general? Stay tuned. All right. Well, I guess my last question for you, Hendrix, before I let you go, is what are you excited for 2022, and what would you like to see from both of us?
So I'm excited. What I'm excited for in 2022 is obviously better boxes, good fishing. I'm excited to get out there with you guys. I'm looking forward to possibly painting our own lures and getting them in the box. Myself, my brother helps me paint. He's also thinking about starting a small bait company as well, so I'm also looking forward to possibly getting him in a box. Other than that, we might start a YouTube with some fishing, some how-to tips, how it's done, maybe some videos of how we pack the boxes so you guys see the insides of it. That way you guys know it's not a machine packing the boxes and how much actually goes into it. And from you guys, I mean, Real Custom Art, just keep working on those designs, get some cool, unique stuff out there. Use your skills and your talent and your ideas. You're doing a great job at that. The best thing you can do is use your imagination. I mean, there's unlimited patterns and things you could go with an airbrush, and just try all the new things you can and just go for it, man. Just don't step back. It'll get there one day. And part-time, John.
It's all
I
good.
keep referring people to by their usernames and not themselves. But from you, I mean, just great content. Just keep it up. And as an ambassador, I love the support. I have nothing to complain about with you. Just keep up the content. and just keep doing what you're doing. I think you're doing a great job with the channel and your YouTube and everything. But get more fishing related stuff out there. I want to see some big fish. Beat Gavin's PB.
It's going to be tough on the bass. It's going to be tough on the bass.
Yeah.
But no, that was one of my. If you guys watched my my 2021 wrap up video, my goal this year is to take the camera every time I go fishing. Which I admitted to Jeremy. I had to admit it. I screwed up. I went out one day already ice fishing. I did not bring the camera because in the back of my head I thought, it was just going to be me out there. It's not going to be fun. And of course I should have brought it. So the very next weekend though I went out, I did bring it. That video is getting edited here tonight, so that'll be up this weekend. So you guys are gonna get some ice fishing content. I did my best to try to give you guys a little bit of pointers of, hey, here's what I'm using, because I'm just as new to ice fishing as probably most people out there. And like I said, as it gets warmer and we're able to fish more, definitely going to see some more stuff. And like I said, if you do get that YouTube channel going, you need help getting some content on it, let me know. I have no problem putting a quick little video together for it, go through that. But
And that video was with another fellow pro
oh yeah,
staff member.
yep,
So.
we can have Jeremy help out too. So, but
Sweet.
we want to thank you again for jumping on with us, guys. Please go check them out, Hendrixfishingcompany.com or Hendrixfishingco right there on Instagram. Use Fish Talk 10. Get anything you saw that we talked about. Go check the website out. There's more to come, it sounds like, as well on the website. So keep tuned. And like I said, you guys heard it first. March has a fun box featuring this company taking it over. So thanks for joining us. Hope to talk more with you again. And guys, we'll see you out there.
Thank you.